Alright, let's spend some time in D minor. Right? So like I said before, you can explore by lifting fingers. So basically what I'm saying, there's a pentatonic scale here. The 1, the flat 3, the 4, the 5, the 7, flat 7. Then the 1 again, the flat 3, the minor third, right? The 4th, the 5, and the 7, right? Yep. So what I wanted to talk about is a little bit about phrasing, about vibrato. When you take a chord like this and then you lift this finger, you get a D minor 7 chord. So this is a nice thing. You can, when you get to the third, you can always do a little quarter bend or a, maybe, yeah, not too much. Don't do a half step, like a quarter step bend. But don't go back to the minor third. I mean, you could, but it sounds kind of, you know, there's more anticipation in this, I guess, to my ear. So basically what I did here is I just, you know, you can apply the same thing here, and then, so 6 on the B string, 7 on the G string. Seven, 3, 1. You know, I'm just making this up. But it's, I mean, it's all over the place in funk and soul and whatever, you know. So, it's one thing, like, for me, was the hardest thing to get a hold of is to, you know, learn the proper pitch, because if you go too much and you don't want it, you don't want to go, you want to find this note but you just go like this, then yeah, you probably have no control. So it's difficult because what you're doing is like it takes a lot of muscle in your hand, and you need to develop the finesse with the bending thing. I think I would recommend just start with something simple like this. You could hit an open note like this to have a reference note, because this is, yeah, D string, and then just confirm on the octave. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to make it sound more like a voice, you know, add vibrato, and I mean, there's a lot of ways to approach this, I guess. You know, you can try you know, just for the beginning, just try to shake the finger back and forth, like headstock, body, as you would on a classical guitar, you know. Just try doing this for a while. So that's one sound, that's one color in your arsenal, I guess. Then the trick is to learn how to use the, you know, the tension of the string. When you pull it up, you just release and let the string go back in place. The same thing happens when you go down, and then let the string go back in place. And then you get this motion. you know. So what I'm doing, I'm like, I have a pivot point here, you know, here, at the bottom of the neck, and then I just kind of do this, you know, like you're turning a key, you know, like doing this. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna do it, maybe not, you know. So this is a good approximation, like, of what it really feels that you're doing. But the thing is, like, you get your, some people keep the thumb classical style at the back of the neck, never go, you know, over the neck. I like to go over the neck, or maybe here. I don't know. I don't think about it that much, but, you know, it shouldn't be nervous sounding. Or if you want to do it like B.B. King, it has to be super fast. But to make it sound convincing, you have to find a speed that will accommodate, you know, I mean, suit. I mean, that's why it's good for you to sing it, you know. Find the vibrato. You know? Make it sound like a voice. And then, I mean, you just connect the two, I guess, you know, the bending of the note by adding a vibrato. So you go, so the note has a center, and then you just kind of wave around it, you know, you go up and down in pitch. Not too fast and not like, I mean, you could do it. I mean, I love the way, I don't know, when you hear Yngwie Malmsteen do the, you know, the high stuff. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wide in pitch, you know, and Zakk Wylde too. Yeah. So it's just a matter of feeling, you know. And I mean, what better instrument than guitar to, like, really, you have the string, you have the physical force, you have to apply physical force. You really have to feel the string, you know. I mean, I'm using 10s on this guitar. This is a Dan Electro something. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a 25-inch scale neck, and which means it's a little bit shorter for my fat, chubby hands. And I use 10s because they feel like 9.5, right? A little bit, because I've learned that, like, killing yourself with big string gauge, I mean, I don't care about that anymore, you know. After you go through, like, repetitive stress injuries and tendonitis and years of not being able to, like, really play what you want to play because you're hurting all over, because, you know, you forced yourself into this belief that you have to, you know, bigger strings, bigger tone. I mean, whatever. It doesn't, you know. So these are 10s. So they're easy to manipulate. So yeah, like I was saying. So you would go up a half step, right? Find the third, and then just see what I'm doing. I'm doing it with the first finger, which is like the hardest finger to do, because you don't have support behind, you know, behind it like this. This is a little bit easier, and this is like super easy. But, like, you need to learn all, you know, try out all combinations, and just, like, you know, it's basically weightlifting for guitar, you know. Like, the fingers are really handling a lot of weight, 6 or 7 or even more kilos per string, you know. I know it varies, but somewhere in that ballpark. So you really need to get strength and control, because all you ever do is, like, you squeeze, right? This is what gets us guitar players in trouble. is repeating this motion. So I would advise you to get one of those rubber bands and wrap it around your fingers. Oh, look. And just do this. So not only the muscles in your forearm, which are responsible for contracting your hand, are getting overworked, so you get to balance out the muscles, the outside of your hand, right? No, they're not really like separated. They're all over the place. But the muscles that help you do this, you know, they get neglected and then they get weak. You know? So, and I'll do a video on warm up, like everything I stole from other people in other videos in one place. If you bend up and you find yourself hitting the D string, you can always down tune. The E string down to D, so you have an octave here. So you're way, you know, you don't even get to touch this string, even if you bend super high. So this is okay. So this is a semitone or a quarter tone, but I mean finding a quarter bend is a little bit, you know, but this is a legitimate note, and it's way lower than the third here, right? No. So you don't have to bend up all the way. And then adding vibrato it would be just like find the note and then try to shake it without losing, you know. When you don't have the strength and control, you will be in a position where you just like bend it, and when you start to shake it, the note drops because the tension of the string will pull you back down. Even if you go down, it will try to. Okay, so what else? I said D minor. So our shape is, you can write this down. A string is 5/8. D string is 5/7. G string is 5/7. 6/8 on the B string, and then 5/8 again on the on the E string. But learn those notes and learn the intervals. I mean, learn the degrees, the numbers. So another bend I would do is like I would go from the 1 to the major 2. I would go from D to E. And what I do is like I support my ring finger with these two. You know, just push the string up. And then when you get to pitch, just shake it a little bit. Actually, we don't have the E note. It's not in the pentatonic scale, but nevertheless, try it. It's up here. Then you can make up phrases which are like, you can play a bit of the scale and maybe get to the G note and then up to the A note. And then you can check, like you have the A note here and A note here, then just go. So when you get good at it, you can basically like predict the note. You know, just by feeling, you know. This is E, A, D, Okay, that one. I mean, it's easier to bend on the second and the third string than on the E string. You know, the strings shouldn't be too low on the guitar, they shouldn't be too high. You know, you have to find a middle ground. For instance, I think I set mine to 1.6 millimeters on the 17th fret, and I do that, you know, on each string so they follow the radius. And this guitar has a 14-inch radius, so it's pretty flat, and I like it. I don't know why people complain. It's beautiful, you know. I could get the strings lower, but it's just, you know, I like the resonance that it has. Yeah. Yeah, another thing that I picked up from way back from watching Clapton play is I noticed that he just, sometimes when he does a vibrato and he doesn't bend the note, he's just like hanging on one note, like he'll just completely let go of the, you know, of the neck and do this a wider vibrato, you know. Yeah, but having a you know, point where you just like rest the palm of this bit of the palm of your hand is easier, because I don't know, precision wise it's much more, for me it's much more comfortable, I guess. Yeah, and the same thing applies when you go up. Crappy jack. Same thing applies when you, like the lower strings, you know. You know, you try to apply vibrato and bending. Basically, you can if you take the D minor scale, you know, the whole 7 notes, you can play around by, you know, something like that. You know, you have the half steps. It's a good routine, you know, way to get out of the, you know, routine of playing. Notice that I have 3 notes here on the A and the D string, and then I have 2 notes here, and then again 3 notes here on the B string, and then 4 notes. So I could be doing something. And it sounds much more musical, and you need to concentrate and think about what you're gonna do, because you know, this becomes very mechanical after a while. You know, I don't know, I don't see that as music, but if you take time and just like, if you have, for instance, and I'm hitting this drone, you know, I'm creating a kind of a drone note behind this whole thing, because I want to hear the intervals interact. You know? You see, when I got up here, because I just grabbed it with the pinky and help with these two fingers. Some people do it like this. I don't know, but you know, it depends on the phrase and where you end up. Maybe you'll end up just like this. And it will hurt. The tips of your fingers will hurt. Actually, in Croatian, we call them strawberries. I don't know why. Yeah. Little strawberries on the tips of your fingers are going to hurt. And sometimes a little bit of strawberry juice will drip out, as in blood and pus. Until you get calluses, and then you're fine. So start out with 9s or 8s or I don't know, 7s, whatever you can get that's not super, you know, and try to be a fluid kind of loose player. Don't sometimes people start on an acoustic guitar and, you know, they try to, you know, imitate what people do on the electric guitar, and not, I mean, they know because now you see what, but before, when I was a kid, you know, you would hear stuff and you would think like, oh yeah, I've got this crappy acoustic guitar, I can learn the whole Injustice for All Metallica album, and I did, and fuck me, that wasn't nice. A lot of pain in the left hand. I think that was when I was 12 or something, yeah. So get a decent instrument and don't go crazy with strings, because, you know, this is an electric guitar. There's always an amp that you can turn up, add bass, mids, whatever. Let me get the pick. Look. They're from a famous well, fuck it, they're Ibanez. See, yeah. I kind of discovered these. It's like 3 picks in one. 3 of the same kind. So you just like, you grab it and it's wide enough, because I discovered the pointy ones, and if there's too small, it's like I keep dropping them, and I don't know, the pointy ones just seem to, you know, get into the string more, but then it's harder for me to get out of the string, whatever. But what I like to do is, like, when I have no idea, or like you want to develop an idea or just like fool around, you can do these mantric, meditative mix a little bit of that major with the minor. Doesn't have to be fast stuff, you know. Just listen to the notes. Maybe sing it a little bit. Try a little bit of F sharp pentatonic minor. So what I'm doing is just playing, let's say a major scale, but it's all in the phrasing. This is what I got from, first and foremost, from Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. Is these Saregama Padanisa improvisations that he would do in each composition, but later on, of course, you discover John McLaughlin, and so this is very good for coordination. So what I do is like I just so this is C sharp, D, E, C sharp, D. Sloppy. What you can do is just like Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. Check it out. Of course, you know, I did not study, you know, Saregama Padanisa, and then just to know which one of the, you know, the Saregama Pada, which one of them. It's like do re mi fa sol la ti do, to like to put together with the note that it actually belongs to. My English is fucked up today. So I take the major scale and I put it horizontally like this. That was a raised fourth. A Lydian feel. And we all know who likes that, Mr. Hua. But it's all about, you know, what we talked about in the previous video, one of the previous videos is about hand coordination and how, like, after doing it for a long time, you start to sound like a machine gun or a robot. Well, you can use that here, but, you know, to a certain extent, I guess. But I would still go back to, you know, to the drawing board and just do it with a pentatonic scale. And then the minor scale. Yeah, so it's good to get stuck in one key and hear that minor third, how sad it is against the major third, and then the tonic, and then the flat seven, and then maybe the natural seven. What it does to how it changes the yeah, years of doing really paid off. But yeah, I mean, you know, it can't all be, you have to kind of like have these outbursts of dynamic and energy, and it's like being one of those like quiet good guys, good neighbors, and then all of a sudden, like, you know the guy for 20 years, and then he's like, he kills half the street. That's the way I see it. You just fucking go crazy, you know. But until then, you're like this. So, peeps, it's 10 p.m. I hope you got something from this. I'm gonna review all of these videos, and then, you know, there's tons of stuff that you can just, like, separate little things that you can get into, and I think, like, for the vibrato thing and the pentatonic thing, and, like, you know, messing around from the chord shape and finding the notes, I think, yeah, that pretty much covers it. But technique-wise, we still need to get into the right hand, and yeah, peace. It's like, couple of